Hey everybody, Ryan Marrinan here for 3M. Today we're going to talk about a few tips and tricks on how we're going to replicate a door skin bead, particularly here on this Lexus model. Some of these beads can be a little bit complicated to replicate. We're going to show you using our products how we can accomplish this with relative ease. Let's head inside and get started. All right guys, so we've got our panel prepped. We've scuffed our surface. In this case, we've got epoxy primer down because we had some bare metal that was exposed. We've also taped off the exact width of the bead that we're trying to replicate. Various vehicles might have a little bit different bead, but in this case at Toyota, we're trying to target that 8mm width. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our 5887, we're gonna put it in our applicator here, and we're gonna equalize our cartridge. It's important when we equalize our cartridges that we're always doing it in an upright position into a towel, making sure that we got equal components of A and B coming out. Once we get our new mixing tip applied to the cartridge, we're going to dispense a 2-inch strip of material, and we're making sure that we've got good equalization coming out of the cartridge before we put it on the vehicle. Once we go ahead and put it on the vehicle, we're going to run a continuous bead from where we want to start to where we end. And it's okay if you're not perfectly straight. That's why we have the tape there, to make sure that we've got a perfect bead when we pull that off, so that it looks just like it did from the factory. As I'm dispensing this, you might notice that I'm also putting it inward towards that hem flange just a little bit. It's important when we're dispensing seam sealers that we're forcing the material into the surface, creating a tight seal. Next step I'm going to do is I'm going to take a cut down mud spreader, and all I'm doing is just trying to knock this down. I'm not trying to remove any material. I just want to make sure that I'm going all the way from tape to tape on both sides, because remember, that tape is exactly the width of the bead that we're looking for. Now the best practice here is I'm going to start from one end of the door with each step. So I'm going to start caulking from this end of the door, and I'm going to work my way all the way around. I'm going to come back with that mud spreader. I'm going to knock it down from that same spot all the way back around the door. And then when I go pull my tape, I'm going to start from the same spot again. This gives the material an equal amount of time to sit and rest on the panel, giving it some of that relaxed feature that's built into the product. And when we go to pull our tape off, it's going to give us that professional look that we're going for. Again, as we pull our tape off, we want to make sure that we're pulling backwards against itself. If anything, inward just a little bit. We don't want to create a tidal wave on the outside where we can't get paint underneath. So I'm using the tape to create a nice clean cut edge. And with this material, you notice I got a little bit of slag that fell on top of the bead. That's all right. We're still within the working window. This is actually going to lay back down and melt in just fine. If it was outside of our working window, I could actually wait until this is cured. I could sand that part smooth, and then I could actually come back in with more material if I wanted to, right over the top of it. One of the other things that we're going to do right towards the end, some manufacturers are going to require this. Toyota calls it out specifically with their replacement panels, whether it's doors, hoods, deck lids, is they actually want the corners to be pinched off. And they'll tell you when, where, and how much to actually pinch off. And it's kind of important because as you look at this bead on a vehicle, if water builds up along that edge, it needs a place to drain. By pinching off that corner, it allows the water to drain off the vehicle out onto the road, garage floor, surface, whatever it might be, as long as it's not staying on the vehicle and starting to damage the finish. So that's it for this bead here today. For more information on other seam sealers, go ahead and check out our information at 3M Academy in the link below. Also, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up indicator. Check out some of the other videos on our channel. Hit subscribe below so that you get the most updated information, as well as that notification bell over here in the corner. That way you're getting the information as we're releasing it, and you're staying up to date on the best practices in the industry. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.